the time where CEOs talk about having no work-life balance. We have a CEO who talks about making work easy. A huge round of applause. We have Mr. Sandeep Gulati ji, the founder, Plus 91 Media, who'd have welcome address.
Thank you, Javeria. A very warm welcome to all you wonderful educators at the 19th EduLeaders Summit and Awards powered by On My Own Technology as well as co-powered by Auxilio, uh, without which the event wouldn't have been possible. So it's a pleasure always to come down to Nama Bengaluru because I think the most tech-savvy people live here. The most adaptive of technologies happen in Bangalore, and I think one of the best places to host a conference as well as to get all the partners is Bangalore. So a huge round of applause for all you wonderful educators who are actually taking the beacon of technology in education sector on a completely different level. You know, the rest of India is at one place, and Bangalore or Bangalore or Karnataka is a completely different place. So credit goes to all you wonderful educators out there. Uh, Before I start my, any event, I always say a shloka, and it is dedicated to gurus. Here it goes: Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Par Brahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. A guru is like Lord Brahma that ignites the knowledge within us. Like Lord Vishnu, who nurtures these knowledge and make sure that we reach ungodly heights. Look at Bangalore, for example, the tech capital of the country. Without the educators, all these achievements, I think out of the top Fortune 500 companies, at least 250 of them are Indians. So that wouldn't have been something we are doing right in our education sector for a really, really long time. So a huge round of applause for the Lord Vishnu and the educators that we have that has made us achieve, such ungodly, achievements. Imagine we are going to be the third largest economy of the world. Who would have thought 20 years back that this feat was achievable? And coming back to the shloka, definitely a guru is like Lord Shiva, who destroys all the misconceptions, the ill conceptions, all the ego that comes with all the ungodly achievements that we have. That no, we can achieve everything. We are talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about skill education today. But eventually, we're all coming back to our roots. We're coming back to the roots where it comes down to job, the basic skill to earn a living will require sticking back to the roots where we had left it because of the education that was imposed on us. We were all taught that why a cobbler's son is learning cobblery, why a wonderful pashmina sari manufacturer or a hand woven pashmina sari worker is teaching his son the same art. But now we are going back to the same culture. We are trying to make sure that, the government is pushing. In fact, I'm sure you're all aware that the government wants all the CBSE schools at least to have a skill development lab in the next 3 years. So we are all going back to the roots because until and unless a child has a particular skill, it will be very difficult to survive in the market. So coming back to the introduction, Plus 91 Media, earlier known as Universal Mentors Association, is a 21st century cutting edge media organization with the sole purpose of reaching out to the education sector, schools, higher education. We are reaching out to the logistics sector. We are launching our logistics segment very soon in the month of April. We have already planned for it. We are talking about air, we are talking about sea travel, and we are doing a lot of other surface travels, conferences as well. We are launching our first international vertical, which is taking care of the legal segment. We are also doing banking, finance, and as Dr. Samula had mentioned, the human resource. It's very important that we talk about continuous skill development of the workers. So we are doing an L&D segment with the HR department as well, sir. Uh, we have launched a magazine called Sourcing Education. It is a premium, one-of-a-kind magazine where an educator is writing the magazine and it is dedicated to the educator. So first time ever in India, a school principal, a school owner, a school practitioner is going to write the content for the magazine. And that is going to be dedicated. All the best practices that are happening in schools across India are going to be covered in that magazine. It will be a quarterly magazine, will be launched in the month of February. We're also starting off with dedicated education podcast channel, where I'll just announce a couple of projects there. We are covering all the policies that the education is doing. We are reaching out to all the education ministers across India, in state, and trying to see. We've all been talking about National Education Policy 2020. We just want to see how which state has implemented what, and we'll be doing a set of awards for that implementation for the government very soon as well. We're also covering the top 10 unique schools of India. I'm sure you are aware, few of the schools that are here in Bangalore comes under those category. I could name a few. I think a green school initiative where the zero carbon emission, I think, which is going to be one of the biggest achievements that the government will be working on. You will be seeing a lot of that in the next, budget as we are nearing it. So we are covering those schools which are completely unique. A Gurukul school which is completely run on the Vedic culture back in UP near Allahabad. We are covering schools like those, across India. We are reaching out to schools which are completely unique, doing absolutely amazing stuff through our podcast channels as well. With that, I would not take much of a time. I think it is very important that we run the session in time, because we're talking about skill development. After this, a panel discussion will soon take place. Having some of the most amazing educators across Bangalore and Karnataka. So without further ado, I would leave this amazing session in your hands, the educators. I believe Nama Bengaluru is going to be kind to all the wonderful speakers, all the wonderful partners that are there. We have 30 plus partners here at the event. You can all visit their stalls. You will be seeing some of them speak at the event. With that note, I would now like to take your leave. And can we get some energy in the house? I know it's a chilly Bangalore morning. I think one of the best things that Bangalore could happen is the traffic. It gives you a lot of patience, right? If I'm not wrong. I'm sure everyone who has come on the stage has always said only one thing bad about Bangalore is the traffic. I think Bangalore's traffic is what makes Bangalore Bangalore. I think without traffic, Bangalore wouldn't have been the kind of city that we have. It's easier to expand roads, just cut down trees, expand roads, but that we don't see in Bangalore. So a huge round of applause for the government, as well as especially to the people who are okay with the traffic, but they're not okay with cutting down the trees. So a huge round of applause to all you wonderful educators. With that note, I'll take your leave. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much.